So The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 11, titled Morning Star has premiered. If you have not seen this episode, it's going to be a full spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the episode, you don't really want anything spoiled for you, don't watch this review. But after you see the episode, always come back and watch the review afterwards. But anyways, let's go. So at the start of the episode, we kind of get to see Alpha get Negan to whip her the same way she got Beta to do it, in a way kind of saying she's kind of getting rid of Beta in a way and making Negan more prominent in her kind of role and life as a Whisperer. And we also got to see Negan with a Whisperer mask, and it's really weird. It looks so weird to see Negan because you know it's Negan as well. You see the jacket and everything, you know it is Negan under that, and it's just seeing him with a Whisperer mask is just, it's really weird and really kind of off button, but you can still be able to see that big grin coming out as he's Negan. And we also see, coming back to Hilltop, we see Daryl and Lydia coming up in their motorbike, and I was thinking, how did Daryl get his bike? Because I couldn't remember. I could be wrong now, but going back to when before the cave, I didn't remember them going there. I thought they all walked to the cave, so I don't know, maybe they got the bike, but I was just like, where the hell did he get that bike? But then they come there, and then of course as they're there, we find out that Judith and Aaron and everyone has also made it there, and they're there to meet, I think her name was Mary, was going to meet the child, I can't remember the kid's name, but the baby. And then Earl, as well as, also I can't remember his name, but Enid's boyfriend Alden. They were both getting really annoyed, saying he's our kid now. They decided to throw him away. It's ours. She cannot just come in here and meet them. And in a way, it makes a lot of sense to why they don't want her meeting the kid. But also, it's like they're getting intel off her. You really should kind of work with her, because they don't really know if they could fully trust her yet. They should kind of give her a little bit what she wants, so that they can take as much as they need off her and then just go from there. So I think them not kind of even just letting her see her, I think is, in the long run, doesn't really seem like a smart move, not knowing what we know. And something that we also found out that has kind of thrown me under the bus a bit is that when the satellite crashed in episode 1 of the season, not only could our group see it, but also Stephanie's group could see it. So they're in a really close proximity to each other, where in the comics she's in Ohio and they're in Virginia, so it's a massive distance. But now they're really close. I think maybe she's not part of the Commonwealth. Maybe she's part of something different, and the Commonwealth is maybe Maggie or where Rick is, because I don't think they're going to make the Commonwealth closer than they actually are, because it just, that whole thing does not really make a lot of sense. But also Rosita finds out about Stephanie, and then they're kind of going back and forth. Eugene, she's not talking to Eugene anymore. He's getting a bit annoyed. He was really excited. He was loving actually talking to her. And then Rosita, to find out that he actually did have feelings for her, she asked him to kiss her. He got really close and he couldn't do it. And then he goes, I can't. He goes, he wants to kiss her, so he didn't want to kiss Rosita. And it was a nice little moment between the two of them, because it shows that in this time jump they have grown so close, especially where we last left them back in the start of, or the end of season 8. They were kind of at opposite ends. They weren't really getting on well. Now they're so close, and they're just very close friends, that she's able to tell stuff when he's not even saying anything. I like that. And then we kind of find out as well that Eugene starts singing a song into the radio that he wanted her to hear, but he couldn't find it. Then she sings back, and then they make a date to actually meet in 1 week's time in some place within Virginia. So the fact that it's in Virginia, I don't really think that she is that far away. And because they know that the Horde is actually going to be making its way to Hilltop, they're thinking about evacuating all the kids. So all the kids get on side a carriage, and it was something that really, it was something so small, but it was just so cool. We see RJ is not only wearing Rick's hat, he's also wearing Daryl's vest, and I was like, oh my god, that kid hasn't said much, but he is just such a really cool fan favorite character. I'm just really excited to see what they do with RJ in the future, because just seeing that alone I thought was great. But then, as they are making their way, I'm pretty sure they were going to bring the kids to Oceanside, but they were on the path, and then they find that 2 people they sent out to kind of scout ahead have been hung, killed, and a tree had been chopped down. And then they're like, okay, Negan's helping them, which is what Negan did back in season 7, season 8, even end of season 6, to get people to go where they want them to go. They cut the trees down, so he's now helping Alpha in a way to kind of make her dictate where to keep people are going. But we also see Alpha and Negan having a conversation, and he's like trying to trick her into bending the knee, and just the whole way of saying bend the knee and all that, went straight back to Game of Thrones. Like, okay, I like what they're doing here. But then it's kind of revealed that Negan saying, I thought you wanted them to join us, not to join us, but kind of join us and have no choice, they have to be with us. And she goes, yes, I do, but as my part of my horde. And he's like, oh, you're badass. And I don't know what's gonna happen with Negan. I imagine it's gonna go very similar to the way it is in the comics, because I cannot imagine if Negan goes full bad, people are not gonna take him back at all. So if he goes the way he's going, I don't think they're gonna take him back, but they're gonna have to take him back because he's such a major character, and we don't have a lot of major characters. So I imagine Negan is gonna come back to the good side just because we need more prominent characters who have been around for a good while, and everyone loves Negan. At least I'm pretty sure everyone loves Negan because I'm a major fan of Negan. Carol also finds out that Ezekiel has cancer, and then they reunite by having sex, which I was like, okay, I don't think they are back together. I actually really like the two of them together. I love how it makes, like, Ezekiel so far this season has been kind of depressed, really sad, opposed to what he's usually like. He's usually the big, happy, jolly guy, and the way he's been lately, I'm not really a massive fan of him, but I don't think they're back together. But I think he is gonna, because he was a bit more happier in this episode, so I'm imagining he will come back a bit to the way he used to be, but I really don't see him and Carol getting back together because Carol's on such a destructive path. I just can't see her going back to him. And we also see Lydia's crying in a corner by where her and Henry had carved their initials and a big heart around them into the wall, and then Carol comes up to having a conversation, and then Carol's explaining how she hates the world and all that, and Lydia's like, I'm sorry that your kid died and now you hate the world, and she goes off. And I think that maybe that conversation will help Carol come back in, because Daryl keeps saying it to her, but I think now the fact that Lydia is saying stuff to her now, I think she might be going, she's on such a destructive path, she might come back to where she used to be and not be, still want revenge, but not kind of in the way she's doing it, getting everyone else in danger. Because like in episode 9 she did kind of, they don't know, they could be alive. I think they're alive, but the characters think they might be dead. But Connie and Magma, and she might have caused the death of them just by her destructive path, so maybe she can really step back now because she had that conversation with Lydia going, okay, I really need to rethink what I'm doing, which I think they're going to have one more conversation with maybe someone different, and that could be what helps her come back to where she used to be. And a way of indicating that the herd was actually on its way to our characters was, first off, one rat jumps out of the forest, and then a few more, and then like it's like a wave of rats just come flooding out, and then that's why our characters are like, oh shit, these people are coming. So people are kind of saying their inner ways goodbyes because they think this very much could be the end. And Ezekiel and Daryl are talking. Daryl's kind of saying, okay, if we need to, if I go down or you go down, I will take, if you go down, I'll take the kids out of here. If I go down, you take the kids out of here. Don't think, just get them out of here. And then they agree to shake, and then Daryl goes over to Judith, and he has a really, really nice moment with him, just because I love these moments with Daryl and Judith, just because that is Rick's kid, and I think it's great. And we see that he's saying to her, even if you don't know what happens to me, just go with Ezekiel. And we see that she actually repaired Daryl's vest, and I just seeing the big blue angel wing, it stands out massively, but I actually love it just to see his vest being back, because the way it was recently, I wasn't really a massive fan of having the one angel wing. But now that the second one's back, I'm happy to see that. And then we see that Carol is actually looking at the pictures in Maggie's office that has Glenn, has Herschel, has everyone, just kind of reminding everyone like, oh yeah, Maggie's still out there. She will be back this season, because unless you're a major Walking Dead fan, not knowing all the ins and outs, you probably don't know Maggie's on her way back. So that's just reminding the general audience that Maggie is coming back. And then we go over to see that Daryl's actually standing outside Glenn's grave, looking down at it, and then just another room like, oh yeah, Maggie is coming back, another way of saying that. Then Carol comes up and she says, please don't hate me. He looks back, says, I could never hate you, and then just walks off. And she is just broken. She's so sad by this, which it makes sense why she's sad, but also I didn't think Daryl was actually going to hate her. They've got such a good, strong relationship. I couldn't imagine Daryl actually hating Carol. And then the herd makes its way. It's coming up the hilltop. Everyone is ready to fight. And earlier in the episode, Eugene was kind of setting up all these electric boxes. I actually thought it was to do with the radio, but then it turns out he was just setting up an electric wire. And all of a sudden you see walkers getting their heads chopped off, their whole torsos are being cut off completely. But then after a while, he mounted them, they kind of knocked it over. And then they had a wall, and then all the walkers got stuck up against the wall. They started stabbing them all and getting some of them down. But then at the very start of the episode, we see that Beta was actually collecting some sap, and I was wondering why he was doing that. But then they slingshot the sap all over to our characters. I'm like, oh shit, that's going to light them on fire, isn't it? And then they had sap all covered, and they were like, what the hell is this? And then they start shooting flaming arrows over to them. Well, I think it was a no-no. I didn't know who the character was, so it could have been a Whisper, it could have been one of our Alexandrian Hilltoppers. But someone catches fire, and that's when everyone's like, holy crap, we have to run back. So they're making their way back into the gate. But then an arrow starts hitting the back of the gate, and the whole back wall of the gate starts catching fire. So our characters are stuck in between a wall of fire and a wall of walkers, and it's just, I'm really excited to see what happens next week, because this episode, it was kind of, I feel like it was very much a stepping stone between episode 10 to episode 11 to 12. So 11 has a lot more character stuff. It doesn't have a lot of action. I enjoyed the episode, but I imagine episode 12 is going to be like a massive episode. I think this episode, I think we're going to see the death of Alpha. I think it's going to be Negan. I think it's going to be very similar to what happens in the comics. I say they're going to go off and have a moment, and Negan's going to kill her. Carol and Daryl aren't in the right position. Same with Lydia. They're in no way in close enough to kill Alpha, where I think Negan is going to be the one to kill Alpha, and that's how he's going to gain his freedom between all our, so he'll be able to wander free. He won't have to be in a cell because he did kill Alpha. So I think that is how Negan's going to be free, and I think that's how Alpha is going to die in episode 12, because I can't see her lasting the whole season. I think episode 12 will be a good stepping off point, because as far as I know, episode 13 is Michonne's last episode. So I think they're going to want to finish the Alpha story, then finish the Michonne story, and then we're going to see what happens with Bade and all them in episode 14, 15, 16. And we also have Maggie come back, so I think Negan is going to kill Alpha next weekend, but I don't know. It could be. Hopefully, I think she is, because I think Alpha's time is close to an end, and I think she had her final moment with Lydia, that's why I don't think Lydia is going to kill her. I just think Negan's the only one I can actually really see killing Alpha. But anyways, let me know who you think is going to kill Alpha, because I think I'm pretty right in saying it might be next week. So let me know who you think it is going to be. Even let me know if you think it will be next week. Let me know your thoughts on the episode in general. Click that subscribe button so you can come back next week and see my review of episode 12, as well as all the rest of the season and all the other Fear the Walking Dead and World Beyond, all that. If you want to see all that kind of stuff, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.